Some faces we know without ever learning the name behind them. The rosy cheeks, the twinkling eyes, the broad and generous smile of Santa Claus as America came to picture him. That image did not fall from the sky. It was painted, brushstroke by brushstroke, by a man born on the shore of Lake Michigan. His name was Haddon Sundblom, and to understand how he gave shape to a national dream, you must first go back to a small industrial town in western Michigan, to a place called Muskegon. Muskegon in the late 19th century was a town built on lumber. Sawmills lined the waterfront, and the air carried the scent of fresh-cut pine. Schooners crowded the harbor, and the fortunes of the place rose and fell with the timber floated down from the North Woods. It was here, on the 22nd of June in 1899, that Haddon Hubbard Sundblom was born. A child of the mill town, arriving as one century closed and another prepared to open its doors. His parents were immigrants, a Swedish-speaking father from Finland and a Swedish mother. In Muskegon, they had found the promise that drew so many to the Great Lakes: work, land, and the chance of a better life for their children. Muskegon shaped the boy in ways he may never have fully named. The long grey winters, the deep snow, the warm glow of a stove behind a frosted window. These were the raw materials of a childhood, and one day they would become the raw materials of art. But the town that gave him life would also give him early sorrow. Sundblom lost his mother when he was still a boy, and the household that raised him was touched by hardship. Muskegon was home, but it was not always gentle. As he grew, the great lumber boom that built the town began to fade. The forests thinned, the mills fell quiet, and families looked toward the cities for their futures. For young Haddon, that meant the pull of Chicago rising just around the curve of the lake. He left Muskegon behind, but a birthplace is not so easily left. It lingers in the way a person sees light, in the memory of cold mornings and warm kitchens. Sundblom carried the mill town south with him, folded quietly into who he was. In Chicago, he studied at the Art Institute and threw himself into the booming world of commercial illustration. It was an age of magazines and advertisements, when a single painted image could reach millions of American homes. Sundblom had a gift that the age rewarded. His figures glowed with health and warmth. His brush found the softness of skin, the sparkle of an eye, the honest cheer of an ordinary face. He painted people the way memory paints them, a little kinder, a little brighter than life. He founded his own studio and gathered talented artists around him. Advertisers came knocking, for products from soap to coffee, each wanting a piece of that unmistakable Sundblom warmth. Success came, and with it, the assignment that would define his name forever. In 1931, the Coca-Cola company asked him to paint Santa Claus for their holiday advertising. Until then, the figure had wandered through many forms: stern, elfin, thin, strange. Sundblom set out to give him a single, unforgettable face. He reached, perhaps, for something he already knew. A round and jolly man, cheeks flushed as if from Lake Michigan cold, eyes bright with the kind of joy that survives hard winters. It was a face that felt like coming home. For more than 3 decades, Sundblom painted this Santa, year after year. The plump figure in red and white, laughing beside a fireplace, pausing for a quiet moment in the small hours of Christmas Eve. Generations grew up believing this was simply what Santa Claus looked like. The images spread everywhere, into magazines, onto billboards, across store windows. A boy from a fadding Michigan mill town had, without fanfare, painted one of the most recognized figures on earth. Yet few who saw the pictures ever knew his name. There is a quiet irony in that. The more beloved his creation became, the more the creator disappeared behind it. Sundblom, the artist, stepped into the shadow of the smiling man he had made so real. He kept working almost to the end, his brush still sure, his colors still warm. Haddon Sundblom died in 1976, having given the 20th century one of its most enduring images of joy and generosity. Back in Muskegon, the lumber schooners are long gone, and the mills have fallen silent. But the town still remembers the child born on its shore, the boy who carried its winters in his heart and turned them into light. And so each December, when a familiar red-suited figure smiles down from a window or a page, something of Muskegon smiles too. A small lake town, a lost boy, an immigrant son, painting warmth against the long American winter forever.